All right, I'm here with my 93 Dodge W250. This is my new truck, and I'm going to show you a new video here. I've just been doing all the regular maintenance on this thing the past week, and one of the videos that I haven't seen online is replacement of these transmission crossmember bushings. So I was down here last week doing the transfer case fluid, loosening the drain plug and the fill plug, and noticed that when I push back and forth on the entire transmission transfer case, I don't know if you can see that, the whole thing easily rocks back and forth. And if you poke these bushings, you know, with your finger or whatever, they're very soft. So I picked up a new set of upper and lowers. They don't come as a kit, at least I got mine at Lordco. And these are the lowers. They have steel bushings on the inside, and then these rubbers go on the top. So we'll show you how to change those guys. All right, so the bolt size is 15/16 and the nut. So 15/16 deep socket on the bottom, and then a 15/16 wrench on the top. All right, I had to use my breaker bar on the bottom just to break that bottom nut loose, but I've got her loose now, and we'll take off the nut and the bolt. Quick update here, I've got one side off. What I'm doing here is I've got a floor jack just on the bottom of the transfer case to hold the weight off of the bushings while I take the upper bushing off there. As you can see, the old ones here, very flexible. This one feels just like foam. So compared to the new ones, these ones are very stiff. So I'll go ahead and throw that bottom one in there, and then we can reassemble this side. All right, so this was my method to jack up the transfer case, or the back of the transmission. I've got a deep socket plus a 1/2-inch drive extension on the floor jack, and then I jacked it up, carefully placing the lower one in there without getting my fingers in there, and then the top one just goes on here like so. Rotate it on, and then we can go ahead and stick the old bolt, and there's a washer on the top and the bottom before the nut on the bottom. All right, so I've got both sides on now. It was a little bit of a pain to line up the bolt with the bottom hole in this plate here, but I eventually got it in just by kind of wiggling the transmission back and forth. I've snugged down both nuts here so the bushings have a slight bulge to them, but not too much. Remember, you're not supposed to torque those down overly tight because there are rubber bushings in there, and you still want the bushing to do its job. So now that I've tightened both these up, we can go for a little test drive, and hopefully it drives a bit better. All right, so I just finished up doing the transmission crossmember bushings there, and I started up the truck, and I immediately noticed a difference in terms of the amount of vibrations that were actually in the cab. So it's to be noted that when you have brand new bushings, rubber bushings like this, or even if you get polyurethane bushings, it's really going to make a huge difference in terms of the amount of vibrations that you get in the cab. So I definitely recommend getting rubber ones over polyurethane bushings any day, because I have rubber ones now, and I couldn't even imagine the polyurethane ones would just like cause a huge amount of vibration. That being said, you know, the way I installed them and showed them in the video, even compressed just that little bit made a huge difference in terms of like the vibrations I was actually feeling. And what I did was, after I took it for a test drive, I came back, loosened up that bushing just a bit more. So that nut on the bottom, I just loosened a bit so the rubber bushing wasn't compressed as much and hardened. So that made a little bit more of a difference in terms of like the vibrations that I was feeling. So that helped a little bit. So I'll just fire up the truck here, and a sense of the vibrations that I'm getting now. It's not terrible, but definitely, you know, some spots in the door that I'm gonna need to address. And then, you know, back there, one of the seat belts was kind of, seatbelt thing down there was vibrating, but overall, this is my new 93 W250 extended cab. It's just like my other truck, just a different color, and it's got an automatic transmission. But this thing is it's a non-LE truck, so it's all the basics. It's got manual windows, manual mirrors, manual. There's no cruise control, manual locks. So yeah, it's a basic truck, but it's going to be the dedicated camper rig. So, you know, there's more to come with this truck. I'm not going to do a ton to it right now in terms of like you know, prettying it up, I guess. I want to put stock first gen wheels on it and get the, you know, the original hubcaps and trim rings. I think that'll really give this truck a classy look. It's got more of a stance to it. You know, the front is a little bit lower than the back, but I think it should sit really nice with the camper on it. So I gotta get the camper tie downs installed. I'm gonna have to take that to a place in town because I don't have a welder. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Hope this vid helps. Cheers.